Good afternoon to Miamisburg Rotary. Today's greeter was saw Kelly out there. I don't think it's out Kelly. And next week greeters will be Stacy and Cole. We're gone by meals today, and we're going to lead. Jeff's going to lead us in prayer. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, my name's not Jeff, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
He switched.
he paid me. He paid me.
Okay.
Dear Lord, thank you for this time together. Thank you for our many blessings. Please guide us, protect us, and help us to live our lives as you would have us. In Jesus' name we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
I like to do a rotary song at least once a month. So on the table, you will find the word sheets for Viva la Rotary. Let all the good them stand up and sing out. Viva la Rotary, with which service and love let's all ring. Viva la Viva Viva, viva la Rotary. Truth is our fight, love is our life. Viva la Rotary. Good God.
Right, Mr. Rich.
So we have no visiting Rotarians.
Aaron Riley is Tom Riley's source.
No prospective members, no Rotarians. There's Miamisburg Rotary with Foster's.
All right, announcements. Who has an announcement? Carol. Carolyn does.
There'll be a short, quick meeting for the races right after the regular meeting.
A couple announcements. One of them is there'll be a Miamisburg Merchants meeting in the morning at 7:30 right here at the Bomb. So everybody come out for that if you can. And also, just so you can put this on your calendar for future date, July 31st will be the annual alumni golf outing up at Pipestone. So anybody wants to see me about sponsorship or teams or whatever, just let me know and you can sign up. July 31st. Put down your schedule, please.
All right, July 31st. Carolyn.
I forgot I had a second one. The district gala is coming up on May the 1st. It's going to be a place in Westchester, but you can get online and register now. I've been the only one from our club that's been there for the last 3 years. I hear there are going to be some others, so it'd be great if we have a nice group from Miamisburg this year.
You'll be at the Voice of America. What's that?
The Mark Twain PTA and Mark Twain Elementary would love your support to our spring fundraiser. We have plants for sale. It is an amazing fundraiser for the kids. It helps to support all the programs that we do for them during the year, to include their field day, which is coming up, and a lot of the other free programs like the free movie that we provide, game nights, and all those sorts of other great things. So, great flowers for Mother's Day if you need them. It's a good place to get them. So they're available from now until for sale till the 25th. They'll be delivered on April 26th. Then I can deliver them personally if you cannot make it to the day.
Where do you order them?
I have a flyer and a QR code. If you'd like to take one, feel free to grab one from me later.
Where's the picture?
At Mark Twain. Or I can deliver it to your house.
Okay, any other announcements? Okay. The question today, we need a Rotary genius for us, a tough one. Nobody. Justin Cohen. Thank you, sir. All right. So the question today is, what is the first Rotary Club chartered in a population of less than 100,000 people? Bonus point if you give me the year that it was chartered. What is the first Rotary Club that was chartered in a population of less than 100,000 people? Okay. In the meantime, we'll do $50. What do you guys think about that?
Happy dollars.
I'll start first. I got a $5, and I didn't bring my badge. Took it sometime. And then I got another $50. I'm going to the Miami games tonight. So feed SMU.
Anybody else? I'm happy. $3 happy. I just came back from the PETS conference, which is the President-elect training, and that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm also happy that my wife's here. I finally got a speaker that she's going to enjoy. We've met Joy before, so she decided to come with me. And I forgot what the third dollar was, but I'm just happy to be here today. Good day today.
Got late $1, and then I got $1. I'm happy that my good friend Joy Pasco's here. I'll be glad to hear what she has to say.
Thanks, Mike. I'm $1 happy. I got this last night at the Star City Brewery.
See you at the game. I guess.
What do you say?
Meet me at the game.
Oh, you know how to do
There we go.
You asked for it. Wasn't going to. I was going to let it go this week. But it is St. Patrick's Day, right? So what do you call an Irishman that bounces off the walls? Ricochet.
Ricochet. No.
I'm happy also because I'm going to the Miami game tonight. Cole's going to buy me a beer there. My son got tickets and I saw them win the 30th game and then they lost. And then they won one and they lost the 32nd. But they can win start.
I think they will. It's going to be a home game.
We're gonna win tonight.
Awesome.
Any other happy dollars? Oh, Keith's got some.
Well, I'll be at the game tonight too, so I think she'll be a grocery makeup.
Like Cole's going over there. Today is National Sloppy Joe Day. I don't know how that. And then also it's National Small Business Development Center Day. And the one I thought was really weird. It is National Awkward Moment Day. So if you have an awkward moment today at work or at home, say, you know what? I'm just celebrating National Awkward Moment Day. All right, top dog.
Hang on a second.
Oh, what do you got?
All right.
Oh,
Justin,
yes, that.
you guys have the answer.
When was the first Rotary Club founded? We have 3 different answers.
All right. I'll give you 3 guesses. I make the rules.
So, with your first.
I'm gonna go with Oakland, California.
That is incorrect.
Winnipeg.
Incorrect. Correct. Cleveland, Colorado, 1912.
Winnipeg was 1910.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Well, he's always.
they had 101,000 hot
Yep.
or 100. My top dog, $46. $46 today.
247, blue ticket.
247, blue, 247. Neil's got it.
Looking for the 9 of diamonds. Pretty close.
It'll close. Very good. Well, I'm happy to announce, I met, our speaker today, I met her out at her place of business and also met her at, Dorothy Lane Market when she was presenting, had some products out there, but I always like to, some of the speakers that we have to get people that live and work here in Miamisburg, and I see that some of you already know Joy, so that's kind of nice. But I did have that, like I said before, ulterior motive of bringing her here so I can get my wife here. So it'll be something that she enjoys. So, Joy, thank you for coming.
All right, thank you so very much. And as you mentioned, it's great to be here. So I do know quite a few of you, but there are some people in the group that I don't know. One of the things that Tom had told me before I get started was to just say, if I am connected to Miamisburg in any way, just to let you know how. So I get connected primarily through Miamisburg because I've lived my whole life here. But most people know my husband, Gary Pasco. You may know him in positive, funny ways or some ornery ways as well, but a lot of people do know him. His dad, Lee Pasco, was a member of Rotary for decades and decades. I can't even tell you how long. So if anybody knew Lee and Louise Pasco, they're my in-laws. So with that, I also have never been introduced in a way that leads with today is awkward moments day. So awkward moment of the day will not come in the next 30 minutes. So hopefully we'll learn a little bit. But one of the things that brought us to become a lavender farm was years and years ago when my husband was young, growing up on Cranes Run Road. There was a farm down at the corner of Cranes Run and Medlar, and his good friends, the Zimmermans, owned that property. So some of you may know Carl Zimmerman, Carl and Carol Zimmerman. So there were several kids in that family. There were several kids in my husband's family. All the age groups just kind of meshed up together. And anybody that grew up on that Cranes Run Road in that era were instant friends. And some of my favorite times right now are even when that group gets back together. It's like decades haven't gone by. They're just best of friends. So Carl is the one who grew up on that farm, but he is actually not the first generation of that family. It goes on back to in 1899. A couple by the name of Dan and Mary Main purchased the property. And I'm going to show you some pictures here in a second. But Dan and Mary had their youngest child named Calvin. And some of you may know Calvin Main as being one of the founders of Dorothy Lane Market. So my husband's always grown up knowing that the Zimmermans were nieces and nephews of Calvin, but all of it just one great family, the main family. So I'll step up here and show you a couple of things, and then I'll come back here to this table. But what we decided when this property came up for sale, my husband for years had said, if that Zimmerman farm is ever sold, I'd be interested. The Zimmermans had sold it years before. It was in the hands of someone else. But he said, I'd always be interested in. I will tell you that we laughed at him and made fun of him because we're not farmers. We have no business owning an 80-acre farm. And it just didn't even sound practical. But when it did come up for sale, we walked the grounds and instantly fell in love. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of property. So I'll never forget standing at the kitchen island, families around, and we're trying to make the decision, do we buy it or not? And we said, if we do, we're going to share it. And so the way we chose to share it was planting lavender and Cole. I said that I was not sure if I have your planter boxes. And here we are. Special shout out to Cole for building these planter boxes, probably in the hottest summer, in his opinion, probably at least hottest summer that we've had in a long time. But let me show you just a couple. I want to take you, hold on one second.
hold on, it's like skipping around on me here. I want to get you to, okay, the awkward moment when the presentation slides. Yeah, I'm going to skip that piece of it for just a second. We'll come back to some of the older pictures. But we have pictures of the old schoolhouse. Does everybody know the old schoolhouse on Medler Road, the one-room schoolhouse? So one of the family members of Calvin, Maine, taught at that schoolhouse. So lots of connections through there. But what we chose to do was to turn this into a lavender and wildflower patch. And so in the summer, you can come out and people who come, what we wanted to do is to make it just a relaxing place to be. So we have a variety of different flowers. Most of it, though, is predominantly the 800 to 1,000 lavender plants that we have. We also try to encourage people to have pollinator plants in their yards, and so we sell some of those. But we get plenty of bees and hummingbirds that enjoy the area. So this is Calvin, Maine's family. So this is Calvin right here. So he was the youngest child. His son, Norman Maine, who runs Dorothy Lane Market currently, he said that one of his dad's aspirations was he wanted to make enough money that he didn't have to have hand-me-downs. So he's basically in a sackcloth in this picture. So it was just a hardworking, great family, but just very much a working farm. This is his sister. And so this is his sister Tilly, and Tilly is there at that one-room schoolhouse there on Medler Road. And then this is Tilly and somebody else that we're not certain who it is, down by the creek at Cruz Creek. So just a couple of the older pictures. Again, some of the things that we encourage are just people enjoying nature, learning a little bit about it. So we provide a lot of food for the monarch butterflies. And then this is a picture where you see, has anybody ever seen a chrysalis or ever had like the caterpillars turn into their little chrysalises and then become a monarch butterfly? So basically what they will do, the caterpillars will go into the J shape and then they'll be upside down. And this, it's a beautiful chrysalis, a beautiful shade of green. And I love that it's even got like the gold accents on it. And then over the course of about 2 weeks, it will then brown, and then the monarch butterfly will emerge. So we have a lot of we have a lot of butterfly plants and other food sources for the monarchs down in the area where people come for the U-Picks, particularly because of all the Girl Scouts and other scouting troops that we support. We like to make sure that they're all learning and seeing a little bit about that. Other things that people enjoy doing, it is truly a place to relax. So we'll have retreats that people will do. Lavender yoga in the lavender fields. We'll also do crafty type things where we'll go around into the yard and we'll just collect plants and flowers. This pink is off of a mimosa tree. This specific class, they were pressing plants into wet ceramics, and then it would fire and they would make a plate, or we've done them where you make a flower pot or a plate. So again, just having opportunity for people to come out and make different crafts for the different seasons. So a lot of that. But what we also need to do with our lavender is to get the oil, because part of where the relaxation comes is with the lavender plant itself. And so you'll have, we've got the big plants, and this goes through our seed cleaner. So we'll start with the big plants that you saw in some of those earlier pictures where you see the long stem purple plants. So we then run it through our seed cleaner and we get all of the lavender buds off of it. And for anybody close, you're starting to pick up the whiff of the lavender. All of you will have a chance to come over here. But what we do is then use this for a variety of different things. What you'll be doing today is to make a sachet. So you can take this home, you can put it in your car, in your backpack, wherever you would like to just have that scent. Plenty of organza bags here for everybody. But the oil itself is inside those buds. So unique to a lavender is that the oil is in and on the lavender plant and in the buds. So when we started with this, I thought if I'm gonna grow lavender, I'm gonna figure out how to get that oil out as well. So this is a distiller. Some people have told me they knew how to use distillers for other reasons. This one's only been used for lavender oil. Not that it couldn't do other things, but this is how we use it. So has anybody used a distiller? Now that I framed that up, that was horrible. You kind of know the science of it, but basically what happens is this base is going to be a pot of boiling hot water. It will stay on the heat source to keep that water hot. Because what I need is the steam. So the product that you're distilling will be here in this chamber. So we will fill it with those lavender buds. And there's a couple things we've just learned along the way is that there's more oil in a bud than there is in the plant. So just for interest of time, I don't distill the leaves and the stems. I only distill the buds to maximize the time. You can jam it so tight in there that's like cement, and then the steam can't get through, and you're not going to have a good result. So you've got to pack it tight enough that it holds together, but not so tight that you create a beer. So we fill this with the buds. The steam is coming up. The steam is literally what's breaking the sac of oil off of that bud itself. So it's literally just a little sack of oil held onto the bud, and we've got to break that connector. So the steam serves that purpose. The oil is light enough that it travels up with the steam. So I'll just follow it up. We will then have cold water connected to this. So think about meteorologists and nature and so forth. When the air temperature changes, we get that steam that's evaporating will turn into rain and come back down. There's a meteorologist, sorry, I oversimplified that. I know that wasn't exactly how all that happens, but that cool air, so that cold water will liquefy that steam. And so now that oil is coming down into here, and it's going to drop down, and we have this collecting. There's two parts, though, of what's coming out. There's one that is just a very light colored fluid, and this is called hydrosol. So if anybody uses like witch hazel as a toner, it's along that same lines. So it's not going to smell exactly like lavender. It's going to have some lavender scent to it, and this will be up here for you to smell. But this is hydrosol. So this is what I would oversimplify to say it's the molecular water inside bud. In addition to that is the oil itself that is inside. And it's the oil that's what we're really going for. So oil and water will never mix. So you'll see when you come up here, but that oil, do you see how it's sitting on top of the water? And then we'll take a pipette and we will literally just suck that oil off of the top of this water. So that's the process for how you go about distilling. This is just one that is portable and easy to use. If you've ever YouTubed it or looked at big lavender farms, the biggest ones will literally take the bucket on their backhoe and dump the plant and everything into these vats that they have that are boiling the water and keeping it hot. Same exact process, just a little bit more suitable for the kitchen, for our size of an operation. So any questions on that, on how we distill? Yes, Alan?
How long does that take?
I will let this burn, boil for probably 40-45 minutes or so. What I'm going to watch for is kind of the point of diminishing returns. So initially, I'm going to see that oil being extracted off, and my concentration of oil is growing pretty rapidly. And then there comes a point where you're just squeezing it so tight, and basically what's left is that molecular water, the hydrosol, and not much oil, and I'll stop at that point. Some people distill for the hydrosol, so if you're in the business of making face toner, you're boiling for the hydrosol. That's what you're going for. I'm going for the oil. So we'll use the hydrosol, but at least at this point, I don't sell the hydrosol. We probably could, but it requires putting a preservative into it to give it a longer shelf life. And so far, at least everything on our farm is natural. So I haven't done that. So the hydrosol will be good to use for about a week. And then after that,
It doesn't look like you get very much.
you're correct. And that's a great question. If you guys are into trivia, which I just realized you are, so how many shoebox sizes of buds do you think it takes to make an ounce of oil? And this is a third of an ounce. So how many shoeboxes of buds would you guess?
20.
I hate to make you lose twice in one day.
It's okay.
20 is a little high. Higher. 10. Did you just win twice? Holy cow! So it does. It takes about 10 shoe boxes to make 1 ounce of oil. So you're correct. You don't get a lot out of it. So when you think about prices of essential oils, that's why they're great. They're God-given in the plants, ready for our use. All of that is positive. But it's minimal, so it takes a lot of that. Yes, sir.
In terms of square footage, how much do you need to make 10 shoeboxes of it?
That's a great question. We have probably, I haven't mapped it out recently, but I would say I have a third of an acre of the property in lavender, and I have about 800 to 1,000 plants. I'm going to get, it might take me 10 plants to get a shoebox. So you get quite a bit. What I like to do as much though with our plants is just let people wander through and cut their bouquets. So anyway, that's the distillation process. Any other questions on that? Yes.
What about the soil? Do you have to treat the soil?
A lavender plant does not like fertilizer. It just it's really, in terms of providing amendments to the soil, it's really very selective. So we don't amend the soil. The main thing, the number one way you'll kill a lavender plant is, they call it wet fruits. It doesn't like to have, they'll say like, they don't send it to bed with its feet wet. So it just doesn't want a lot of moisture around its roots. So right at this very moment with those rains that we were having, just try to get it to drain off as much as I possibly can. You can't tell from these pictures, but this property is on a hillside. So naturally, a lot of moisture's coming off the plants. We've tried to grow some closer to the barn where, for those of you who've been, you know what I mean. So it's flat around the barn. Those I struggle with more than the ones that are on the hill, just because of how it's holding the moisture. Or someone else for Tom. Yes.
Sell the bottles?
I do. Yeah, we do have lavender oil for sale at the bottom. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Variety of lavender.
Really good question. We have at least 20 different varieties. And let me try to go back and show you. It didn't like it before when I was trying to jump around in this. So let me see if I can do that a little bit better. So the reason I put this picture in was it's a little bit tricky to see, but this is white lavender, this is pink lavender, and this is your more common purple. So we have at least 20 varieties, 800 to 1,000 plants, some edible, some non-edible. So has anybody heard of English lavender? Do you know what English means? So the English lavenders are all edible. What I brought today are not edible. So within our 20 different varieties, you have the basic separation between culinary versus non-culinary. And then you get down to the different colors. So your culinaries are going to be, let's see if this picture showed it. So the culinaries are usually going to be your shorter stems, deep, rich colors. And your non-culinaries are going to be those really long, gorgeous stems that are perfect for crafts. So kind of stepping back in time, what man wanted was to make more money off of lavender. And this distillation is how you make the money from the oil. So man adapted the lavender plant, created a hybrid, and made it so that there was more buds on a plant and more oil in a bud. So if they could get more oil in each one of those buds and more buds in the plant, you can get more oil to sell. So it's where we equate that is it smells good. So it's the oil that smells so good. So we like it because it makes great sachets, crafts, other things. For somebody who's a chef, it's not the right taste. They've adapted it. It tastes like soap. It's so if somebody ever says I put lavender in my sugar cookies and it tasted horrible, you will now know you can say you use the non-culinary kind. Why don't you try the culinary kind? So in the culinary kind, it's just going to have a great minty taste to it. And so in our field, we have both of those, we have culinary and non-culinary. They both serve a great purpose, and we want to be able to benefit both. So like our culinary is in a couple different restaurants around here. So the culinary does get used, whether it's making popsicles, sugar cookies, a garver, a chicken breast. It can be used in a variety of different ways. Other questions about that? All right, so I think that was pretty much everything that I wanted to tell you about it, but let me just go back. I did want to show you this. Hold on 1 second. So we also do a lot of charity efforts as well. So one thing in particular we do have an abundance of wildflowers. So we always try to promote as much as possible, whether it's a church group, a service organization like your own. If you ever want to have vases of flowers that you take out into the community in some way, we welcome and support that. You just have to reach out to us and let us know. So this is an example. It's just a couple different activities where people are taking them into nursing homes, which seems to be the primary place, but our guests come from all over. So our flowers have been to Waynesville, not just Miamisburg, but to a variety of different nursing homes. And so if you've ever got scouting troops that are interested in doing something public service related, or anybody else that you know, we welcome that. We also do I don't know if it'd be charity or what it would be, but there are like women's cancer support groups and things like that where we'll host an event for them. So one of the funnest ones that we do is annually we do something for Noble Circle, which is women who are either facing or have dealt with cancer in some way. Noble Circle supports them. So we connect with one of our friends who has goats, and they operate a company called Goat Country. You'll see their goat yoga at the Green and a variety of different places. And we have them come out to our farm, and we do events for the public as well. But then we'll do private events also. And so when you get people who have compromised immune systems at the current time, and they just got the whole farm and they got the goats, and there's just lots and lots of fun. So we do a lot of service like that. So always open to ideas. So if anybody has some, just let us know.
Do you have any trouble with those?
We do have a few of these guys. Yes, so it depends what you would call trouble. So, second. This. Oh, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. So it's just a short little video. So they do not like lavender. So in that way, I don't have any trouble with them. And for anybody who doesn't know my husband, you will not be surprised. He buys corn throughout the winter. So I'm pretty sure at some point during the winter, our animal food budget was greater than our kitchen food budget. For the bird seed and the deer and all. So we have quite a few along Cranes Run. It's quite often that you'll see cars just stopped, just watching our deer. So there's quite a few of them out in the alfalfa fields. And reference the alfalfa field, we also have sheep. So if you drive around that area, you'll see our sheep as well. So my son takes care of the sheep, but we've got probably about 30 or 40 of them. All right. Well, I welcome any of you to come out that you would like, when you would like to come out this summer. So we open up on Mother's Day weekend. So we will be open on the Saturday of Mother's Day. So we have events going on at 10, 2, and 6 that day. The easiest way to follow us is just through Facebook, any kind of social media. We're on Instagram as well, or just check our website. Each of you, when you come up to the table, you're going to get a little card, and it's going to be your ticket for a free U-Pick this summer. The best way to find out our hours is just to go on our website. We do all work full-time jobs, so this is truly just a hobby farm. So this is just us having fun with it and trying to figure out a way, again, how do we share this with the community? So this is not, we're not doing it as our sole income source. This is just a fun way to get people out from the hillsides and enjoy your time there. So the U-Picks will be, the schedule for them will be on our website. Through the summer months, it's typically 10 to 4 on Saturday and noon to 4 on Sunday. Lavender is in bloom from about Memorial Day all the way to when the first frosts sit down in October. It's those culinaries that are the hardiest that begin the season and end the season. The long stem, really pretty ones that everybody thinks of as lavender, and it's what's going to be on the face of this card. Those are going to be in bloom from probably about, it might go a little early this year. I would guess probably sometime around June 10th-ish or so until about the first few days of July. Those big long stem ones will be in bloom. So our schedule for when you can come out will be on our website. We're easy to find, Cedar Ridge Trails. If you forget any of that, it's lavender. Just Google lavender in Miamisburg and you'll find us. Okay, any other questions? All right, Tom, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much. If you haven't been there, it is, I enjoy it. It's peaceful and again, it smells like lavender. At first I thought that was you I smell in my ear. You smell pretty good, but so again, so when we finish up here, you should have some time to come over and create a sachet to put on your pillow or send in your car or something. Oh, we don't want to talk to them. All right. Let's oh, you know what? Like basket over here. All right. we've got prizes. Where else? Speaking of Mike brought the prizes today. And we've got two yellow tickets. And that the first ticket number ends in 875. 875. And the other one is 874. 874, 875. Oh, there you go. You want to bring up the four-way test? Oh, and by the way, it's I'll report next week when I come. I am going to our RILA event for the youth this weekend. It's at Camp Kern. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Our young leaders and peace builders, and I will be presenting also there. So if it goes over well, I may present here too on some things about the four-way test and integrity. So I think just two from Miamisburg, but it's almost every club. So I think there's about 100 total. It'll be a nice weekend. So let's go ahead and stand. Number one is the truth. Number two is the fair office. Number three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Have a great rest of your week.